Hi guys, my name is Jacob Hiller. I just wanted to share that I have recently had surgery. I'm going to share what happened to me. I have had a rupture of my distal biceps tendon, which is the tendon that inserts in your bicep from the elbow. So that's your distal biceps tendon. So what happened? I'm going to tell you about how my recovery's been, how it happened. How it happened was just silly. I was playing basketball. Guy was charging down the court like this. And I went and I swung up at the ball really hard. And as he was pounding down like this, sprinting, and it just popped. We just kind of collided on the ball, and the ball just kind of stuck right there. And I felt a sharp pain. I didn't feel a pop because the ball popped, And felt a sharp pain. Just kind of walked off the court. Then when I got in the car, I looked at my bicep and it was hanging off my arm. Bicep was just kind of hanging there. Couldn't really activate it, innervate it. Was just, And then I realized maybe something's wrong with it. So my issue was when I went to the doctor, and the doctor said, he said he thinks it was completely ruptured. The issue was, I know, and I've seen x-rays of how the distal tendon bifurcates. So it's one tendon, and then it bifurcates into the short head and the long head. So I had the impression that perhaps I ruptured my short head and the long head stayed intact because I could kind of activate that. So long story short, 3 weeks later, I was in surgery. First time I've ever had surgery, broken anything, done anything, first time. It knocked me out. Right now, this is obviously my good arm. I've lost weight all over because I'm not training one arm instead of the other. This is what I can do on this arm. It's coming. It's coming along. This is the type of range of motion I've got now, which is pretty good. So what's just crazy to me, and if you guys are going through this, I'm mostly making this for people who have maybe had a bicep surgery so they can kind of get an idea. What's crazy is how much happens to you, how much damage happens during the surgery. Because, when you get out of surgery, I could hardly move beyond that. That was the most I could go. It was almost like you have stiff hamstrings. You just can't go any further. And what happens, the trauma your body says, so this muscle just tightens up and the scar tissue and everything. So the first thing you got to do is I was scared to do anything, but the first thing you got to do is break up that scar tissue with proper massage and ART and things like that. And then you got to do activation because this tricep was shut down. Even now, if I extend it, like the tricep, I'm extending my arm. If I extend this arm, the tricep kind of hardens. But if I extend this arm, the tricep still is shut down because the bicep is protecting it. It's funny. It's like emotionally, you get trauma emotionally. Part of that, you shut down. And so when there's trauma here, the bicep just tightened up, defense mechanism tightens up, and over here was shut down to protect it. And so it's just, first you got to clear all that scar tissue, then you got to stretch and relax it, deactivate it, and then you got to reactivate. So you got to just heal and get that scar tissue out. You've got to deactivate that defense mechanism that's protecting it. And then, there's retraining it. So now I've got to go through this process. It's been about 3 weeks post-surgery. So I'm lucky to have full range of motion. Still super weird. They did some cupping on me. And this is going to take time. But yeah, distal biceps, they said it was a full rupture, even though I thought it could be a rupture of the short head only. They said it was a full rupture, so I went with it, and I don't think I'm going to have any deformation. There's still, this is what my scars looks like. There's still some swelling here. If you look at this one, the difference, there's still some swelling there. You can see the cupping marks here, and So I've lost weight on both sides and all over my body just from being a little more sedentary. during the recovery process. But that's what happened. That's where I'm at. My advice to anybody who befalls, like it's a wonder I haven't hurt myself before this, because I've been so, I don't want to say reckless, but I've just been a little fearless with my body, done some crazy things, lots of heavy weights, lots of just jumping into action. So this has been a real wake up for me. It's been humbling, I can't even right now, can't even carry my 8-month-old properly yet. So anyways, if that's happened to you guys, you want to message me about what's been helpful. I think one of the best exercises that I did was an activation where I put a band that I was extending my tricep to activate my tricep, because that's really important to reactivate it. It just gets so floppy, and it activated it, and then when I stretched it, I tried to deactivate the defense mechanism here, kind of like and then just straightened it out, and then repeated that a lot. That way you're reactivating, stretching, and then massaging all at the same time, which is really what needs to be done. There's still a lot of scar tissue I have to break up through here. But yeah. So anyways, just wanted to give you guys the update and share my story for anybody who might be going through something similar. So thank you guys.